What's up, guys? Ben Pollack here, and we have a little bit more serious topic for today. If you followed me on Instagram, you may have seen my stories about post-training anxiety and what to do about it. And the question I posed on Instagram was, does anybody else get these post-training feelings of anxiety, and if so, what do you do about them? And I actually received an overwhelming number of responses, which makes me think that this is really a problem that a lot of people have, and it's worth addressing because I have never seen it addressed anywhere. Now, I want to be clear, I am not talking here about generalized anxiety, right? I know a lot of people suffer from anxiety, depression, very real mental issues. Those are things that can interfere with your daily life. They should be taken very seriously. You need to see a mental health professional for that sort of thing. That's not what I'm talking about here. Here I'm talking about a very specific case, right, where you're feeling good, you're having a good day, whatever. You go to the gym, you train hard, you crush it, you get these endorphin rush, and then later on in the day you start feeling anxious. And maybe you're not sure why, but you're just a little on edge, a little irritable, unable to focus, that sort of thing. It can be really, really interfering. And I have this problem all the fucking time, man, all the fucking time. I can pretty much guarantee that after a heavy session I'm going to feel anxious. And there are some reasons for that we'll discuss, and there are some potential solutions that we'll also discuss. But I do want to encourage you guys to take your mental health seriously, and if you feel like this is a problem that's interfering with your life to a significant extent, get some help for it. There's nothing wrong with that at all, and you'll be better off for it. I strongly believe that. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to show some training footage so y'all don't have to stare at my fucking face the whole time, but first, I want to start with some of the causes of post-training anxiety. First of all, I think, it's pretty normal to have a little bit of a drop in energy. So you get a bunch of endorphin rush, you get kind of like a post-exercise high after you lift, especially when you lift heavy, because there's a lot of adrenaline when you're lifting heavy, right? So you get this rush of good feelings, energy, psyched up, you can do anything. But eventually, your brain's going to stop producing those chemicals after you stop lifting, or once you get really fucking tired, and it's going to kind of run out on you. And when that happens, in comparison to how you felt before, you're going to feel pretty bad. That's enough on its own that it can be difficult to deal with. But then you have to take in mind that most lifters are, before they're hitting the gym, they're slamming some pre-workout, right? And even if you have a mild pre-workout, man, that shit probably has a lot of caffeine in it, probably has a lot of other stimulants that are going to get you really up, but then just like with the natural endorphins, you're going to have that crash afterwards to some extent. I know there are other ingredients that you can add that will help to mitigate that, right? L-theanine is a really big one, and if you guys haven't heard of it, I'll put a link to examine in the description below. But in my experience, those things can help, but they're not going to completely resolve the situation. If you're taking, 600 milligrams, even 200 or 300 or 400 milligrams of caffeine before you train, there's going to be consequences to that. There absolutely are. And if you watch some videos with Dave Tate, Justin Harris, Chris Duffin, they all talk about how these pre-workouts are very much a double-edged sword, and you need to be cognizant of that, and you need to realize that, hey, they can encourage overreaching in the gym, right? That's going to make you feel more tired. You're going to get that crash. And if you come to rely on them as a crutch, then when it comes time to really perform, right, so it's a meet day or something like that, you're testing your 1 rep max, you've already exhausted all your resources. You have nowhere else to turn to get a little extra boost that you might need to really take it to the next level. So I'm not saying don't use pre-workouts. I use them. But I am saying that you need to be cautious and smart about how you use them. So let's say that you decide to take a pre-workout, whether or not you do. Let's say you have some post-training anxiety. What do you do about it? So I got some really good suggestions. By far, the most popular one was eat your face off, right? Just kind of, and that will definitely help, right? The feelings of satiety are going to. So what do you do about it, right? So you decided to go to the gym to train hard. Maybe you had some pre-workout before, maybe you didn't. But in any case, you're stuck with this post-training anxiety. And so I got a lot of good suggestions. By far, the number one was eat your face off. And that definitely will help, right? The feelings of satiety are going to help to calm you down a little bit. They're going to make you feel full and kind of sleepy, and that's really nice. You're going to get that insulin spike. So that can definitely help. If you're following a strict diet and that's not really possible, you're going to have to find some other solutions, right? So we kind of touched on cutting out the stimulants. That is an option. Eating, those were the big ones. Do some more exercise. I don't like this advice. I don't think this is good advice, but I did get some people who said, do something else. Go for a walk, take up another sport, just get outside, be active, whatever. I don't think that's smart if you're a serious lifter. If you're not, if you're casual, fuck yeah. Absolutely. Go for it. I think it's great advice because medicine or exercise is great medicine. But if you're a serious lifter, you need to take that post-workout time to recover. So you shouldn't be doing more exercise then. If you're doing a little bit of light, steady state cardio right after your training, that's okay, but I don't think that's going to help with this. But otherwise, I would prefer that you not do cardio after training, that you not do it even around your training. And I personally think that, engaging in other sports on a regular basis is just taking away from your lifting. So I don't like that advice, but it is something to throw out there, especially for you guys who aren't quite as singular-minded in your goals, right? You have broader goals than just strength. So those kind of cover the quote-unquote natural remedies. There were a lot of suggestions for other alternative routes that you could go. You can smoke weed, and I have no qualms about that at all. The only thing that I would say is that, if you are prone to kind of being a little bit paranoid, if you're already anxious when you smoke, that's, it's probably just going to make the situation worse. But there's a fair amount of evidence that says that marijuana can be beneficial for training. So I don't think that that's something you need to avoid if it helps you. Kratom was another really popular choice, and I don't have any experience with that. I do know that it's an opioid from what I've read. The risks of addiction and negative side effects are fairly low, and that it can help, calm you down, just bring you down. And again, if it works for you, that's fucking fantastic. I would be conservative. Obviously, that's always the route that I take, but that's an option. CBD oil, I've tried CBD oil, guys. I think it's marketing. I'm sorry. Again, if it works for you, it works for you. I'm not hating at all. But I have tried it and it does not work for me. And then, prescription anti-anxiety medication, which, I have I've seen some people who have had some negative side effects from that. I've also seen some people who have had it change their lives. So that's the thing. I do not think you should self-treat with anti-anxiety medication. Don't fucking get some shit from Canada and just start popping pills. Please do not do that. You need to see a mental health professional if you think that's the route that you need to go. And if you do think that's the route you need to go, absolutely do it. Absolutely do it. But do it under the care of a mental health professional. So those were really all the big kind of suggestions that I got. I got some, pretty creative solutions. Meditation I didn't touch on, but meditation I've talked about over and over again. I'm a strong believer in that. It will help you while you're meditating. I don't think that, because a lot of this post-training anxiety is going to be physiological, it might not totally resolve the issue, but it can help. Some people like to sit in their car and blast metal music. That was probably my favorite suggestion because that would not help me at all. But hey, if it helps you, bro, go for it. Please, that's awesome. Breathing exercises are a good one. Get creative with it is kind of the point that I'm trying to make here, is that all that really matters is what works for you. It doesn't matter what works for somebody else. It's just the same as in training. So if you find a solution that you like, go for it. And please share it here so that other people with the same problem can get some relief as well. So I've written an article for this on Barbend. I'll post the link in the description as soon as it's up. I hope this was helpful for you. I know it was kind of a serious topic. I tried to lighten it up with a little bit of that training footage, but you got to take this stuff seriously. It's your health and it's your well-being, more importantly, your happiness, right? And I really believe that that's the most important thing in the world. So, yeah, do your best to deal with this. Realize that it's a problem a lot of people have. You're not alone. There are solutions, and don't let it stop you from continuing to think strong and train hard. Till next time. Later, guys.